now let's create the header and the footer for our store. So we are going to use the Visual Builder to create them, so which means we have endless possibilities. Either we can start from scratch and create the header and footer that we want, and we also have plenty of templates that you can use. In this section, we are going to use a template and customize it so it's easier and faster. I will still do a good number of customization, so I will be able to show you a lot of things. You don't have to do as much customization as me on your store. You can also just use the template as it is if you want. So let's go, let me show you that. So here we are on our store, and we are going to do the header, so the part here that is currently in white above our page, and the footer, the part here at the bottom of our pages. So currently we have the default footer and the footer from our theme. So of course we just want one footer, so we are going to work on that. First, it's good to know what should be in the header and what should be in the footer. So if you already have an idea of what you want to add into these areas, it's great. But if you have zero, to me the best way to know what to put in your header or in your footer is actually to go on other people's website and see what they do. So then you can get ideas and inspiration on how you can do the same on your store. For example, for us, I picked 3 websites. So again, the Daniel Wellington website. So if we check their header, they have their logo, their name here in the center. It is pretty nice, but it only works if your logo is horizontal like that, like them. So for us, it's not going to work. That's our logo. Then they put links to their category. So that's pretty cool. It's easy to access. Then on the right here, they have an icon for the wish list. So they have a wish list on their store. This is something that we can do as well on Dottatech. You can create a wish list with an application for the wish list, which is free on Dottatech. We will cover the applications later into this course. Then they have a button to go to their cart. And on the right, they have a button for their customer support, for searching on their store. And they have another menu here. So they actually have 2 menus, this one and this one as well. So it makes sense because they have a lot of categories, a lot of product. We don't have as much product as them, but I think the idea that's good here is the cart icon, the links to access very quickly the categories, the search, and this, again, we don't have as much category, so I don't think we need that. So that was for the header. And then to go down to the footer, here they have an area to subscribe to their newsletter, which is pretty cool. Then they have plenty of links, again, to access the different pages of their store. Here we have an icon to change the country of the store. So I guess they have different websites for different regions of the world. Then they had the payment method that are available on their store, pretty cool. And then they have the links to their social medias and the copyright here. So okay, I think this is a pretty cool footer, and this way you can check more website and see like what you like and what makes sense for your store as well. So for example, let's check 2 more. For example, the Michael Kors website. So again, we see that they have links to the categories, but then they also have subcategories. So we can go to the main page, but also we can go directly to the bag, to the wallets, to the watches. So this is really good if you have categories, then subcategories, and then again, a lot of product. So we don't have as much on our store, but if you do, then it's a good idea for organizing your menu. Then they have a button to sign in. So they must create accounts for their customer, which is cool. We will do the same thing. We will add a button as well to sign in. Wishlist again, go into the cart, search. So here we can see that there is some elements that are the same between the stores. For example, search, cart, wish list, collection. So if we see them on multiple stores, especially if it's big brands like this, then it means that we need that on our store as well. That's important. So I think that's candidate for the header. Now let's check their footer. And in the footer, here they have a section where we can know more about the course service. So when we click on it, they tell us more about in-store pickup, personalization, pre-love. So I guess here it's a lot of questions that people have. Hey, can I do in-store pickup at Michael Kors? And has its question that will help people to decide if they want to buy or not, then they make sure that people can find the information very easily. So I think this is pretty cool. If you have as well some question like this for your product, you might want to make sure that you have the information on your website. Then they have a button to find the store, which is cool if you also have physical store, newsletter again, social media, and then some link to access some pages on their website. And then all the little pages at the bottom. Okay, Great footer as well, very clear, very easy to understand, and very easy to navigate. That's the most important thing. Your footer and your header needs to be very easy to navigate, and the pages and category needs to be very easily accessible from your visitor. It needs to be clear, simple, straightforward. Okay, and then the last website that I wanted to show you was this one, which is way more minimalist in terms of header. And then we can only access the watches, some information about the brand, and a list of their boutique. Then we have the wish list, search, cart, and the account. Yes, so it's way more simple. I guess that's because they have less product as well than the two previous websites, so they do something way simpler and way smaller. But still, it's very easy to access and it's really easy to understand and navigate, which is the most important thing. And then for the footer, as well, they have something very minimalist, just one section to subscribe to their newsletter, their logo, then some links, some ways to change the language and the country as they are a global brand, social media access, copyrights, and that's it. So that's very simple, but it's very effective. And I like to put the logo as well in the footer, just to remind the brand. I think it's a great idea. This way we can find some great ideas for our store, and you can do the same thing to find ideas for your store. And then when you have a better vision about what should be in your header and your footer, then you can do that on your store. So let's go. Now it's time to do that on our store. So for doing that, we will go into the theme builder. Okay, so we are going to customize our header and our footer directly into the theme builder. So for doing that, the first thing that we can do is to use the templates. So to find the templates, just go to support here. You will arrive on our help website with the .txt documentation, and then scroll down to customization, header and footer. Then here click on templates. And here you will find a lot of templates for your header and footer that are already available, that you can download and use on your store. So you have plenty of different styles, plenty of different colors and layouts. So you can just check for the one that you like the best. And once again, we can customize everything. So what's important here is more the layouts of the header and the footer. Do we like it how it is? And do we have the elements that we would like to add? So for example, do they have social media, newsletter form? Do they have search in the menu or the cart icon? Like we look more for like these important elements and for the layouts, because after that we can customize the font, the colors, and absolutely everything. So yeah, you can just have a look through here and see which one you like the best. The one that I will use for the store is this one, the minimal header and footer combo, because we have all the elements that we need. We have a few products. We just need a simple one like that. We will add the icons for the cart and the search directly here. And this one is good enough for us. And in the footer, we have the sign up form for the newsletter. We have different columns for the links. We have social media. This is fine. This is good for us and to fit our website that doesn't have a lot of pages. So once you choose your header and footer, just click on download and save the file. Then the file that you get is a zip file, so you just want to unzip it, and the file that you want is inside the folder. So now we get our file, we're good. Then you go back to your theme builder, you click on the import button, import, and here you select the file that we have just downloaded. Then if you want to delete your current footer and header and replace them with the new ones that we are importing, you can just tick these two boxes. And if you want to import this as a new template, so you will keep your existing header and footer and it will just import the new ones into a new template separately, so you can work on both, then just untick these boxes. Okay, for me, I will override. Okay, great. Now we have our new header and our new footer. So we can just save. And then when we go to our website, here we go. Now we have our header and our footer from the template. So now the next step is just to customize it to fit our website. Just before we do that, I would like to show you how to use the footer of your theme. If you download the theme and you want to use this footer from your theme and you don't want to use the template here, then you can do that as well, and I will show you how to do that. So first of all, open your Visual Builder, then go down on your page to your footer. And then when you have your footer, then you want to save this element into your library, so then you can use it into your global footer. So it will be available on all your pages. Because the problem here is that we are on our home page and this content is only available on our home page. So we will need to add it on every pages, which is not very efficient. Instead, we can just put this element into our global footer, so then it will be available everywhere, which means as well, if we update it into the global footer, it will also be updated everywhere for all of our pages. It's way better. So just save it to your library, footer, then go to your theme builder, open your global footer. So here we have the footer from the template, but if I want to use the one from the theme, then I would just add a new section, add from library, and our footer. And here we go. Now we have the footer from our theme, and I would just delete this one. And now we can use the footer from our theme. So I will not use this one for now. I will use the one from the template. So again, I can just show you more themes. If you want to use the one from your theme, then how you can do it, and then you can customize that the exact same way as we will do with the footer from the templates. Okay, so I will just go back. Okay, and save. Okay, and so what I will do is I will just delete this one because we are going to use this one, and save. Okay, perfect. And then if I exit my page, now we have our header, of course, needs customization, and our footer. So that's perfect. So now let's do customization, and let's start with the header. We'll close this one, and we do that into global header. Okay, so here we are into our header, and the first thing that I want to do is to add our logo into the menu. So I will open the settings of this menu here, and this is the menu module. Perfect. So here into menu, we can choose the menu that we want to put, because you can create as many menus as you want, as we saw before into the part regarding the menu. So I will just choose main menu. Perfect. And here into logo, I can put my own logo. Okay, here we go. Obviously, it's way too big, so we can go to sizing and then make it smaller. Okay, that's great like that. Then this section is really too big to me. It takes way too much space on the screen, so I will reduce the space here. You see there's a lot of space below the green row and between the green and the blue, so which means there is space here. I'll just put that to 0. Okay, now there is no more space, so that's great. Then we don't need this section here at the top. I will just delete it. Then I would like that this margin here at the top and at the bottom of the green row is actually set to 0 or something smaller. So I will do that. Settings, spacing, padding. Let's try 0. Okay, 0 is nice, or maybe a little bit. 5. Okay, 5 is cool. So we can do that. Then I will put my background in black. Okay, perfect. And now we want to put the menu background. It's currently set to white. We delete it, so now it's black, it's good, but now we can't see our menu item anymore. So we go to design, menu text. The active link is the page currently being visited. So you can just put the same color all the other links, or you can do something different. It's really up to you. For us, we will use white. And then for the other item, you can set it here, white as well. And then you also probably want to change drop down menu here. So it's when we hover, you see there is a drop down menu that open. So the background, I want it black. The line, I want red. Perfect. And then I want the text in white. The active link, I want it white as well. Mobile menu background color, black. Text color, white. And here we go. Okay, perfect. Now, the next thing that we have to do is to change the font, because here in the template, it uses Roboto Mono, but on our website, we don't use Roboto Mono. We use Montserrat here. We use into our theme. And if you don't know which font is used on your theme, you can just open the builder, then go to your text, open the settings, use the shortcut with the pencil icon to open the settings directly, and then here you have the font. So we use Montserrat. Okay, so then I can just use the same Montserrat. Okay, perfect. So then we can save that. We can exit the builder. We don't want to save. And here we go. Now we have our header with our menu, which is much nicer and fit perfectly our website. So now we want to add the icons here for search and for carts. So for doing that, I open the settings of the menu module again. And then here I can add the cart icon and the search icon. Then you can as well show the cart quantity if you want. That's pretty cool. I will not do that on my store. And we can change the color of this little icon here. I will just put them white. Okay, perfect. Then you also want to change the hamburger menu icon. So the hamburger is on the smaller screens, you see. So I will put it red for this one. Then, okay, here we go. We can save our header. Let's see on our store. And okay, that is great. The next thing is I would like my header to stay sticky on top of my page when I scroll down like that. As you can see, the header disappears. It just stays on top of the page. When we scroll, it's not here anymore. So I would like it to stay on top of the page when we scroll down. So for doing that, you go to the settings of the section, then advanced, scroll effects, stick to top, save, then refresh. And now we have our header that stays with us. When we scroll down, it's still on the page. Then the next thing I can show you is how to add a banner on your store. For example, if you want to say, hey, we have free shipping for all orders above $50, or you have 10% off until the end of the month, this type of announcement that you may want to do on your store, I will show you how to do it. It's very simple. You can just add a new section, just a row, simple row with a text. And here you just put your text. So I will just say free shipping for orders above $50. Doesn't really make sense for my store, so I will delete it after, but it's just to show you. Then you save. Then you want to make it much smaller. So here you see the space above and below the green section is too big. So I will go here into the settings of the section, design, spacing, and put 0 into padding, both at top and bottom. Okay. Now it's smaller, it's better. And I will also change the padding inside the green section. Maybe 5 pixels. Okay, it's better. Now I want to put this text center in the middle. So I will just use the shortcut and then align center. Maybe also put it in italic like that and a bit bold. Okay, perfect. Then you want to put that on top of the previous one. And we want to change the color as well. So for example, we can do some light gray so it will stand out. Not too much, something like that. And we can put our text in white. So now it really stands out. So that's cool. Save. Let's see how it looks. And okay, great. So we have our banner that stays on top. So that's cool. And then people can know. And then now we can tell to people that we have free shipping for orders above $50. So that's pretty efficient. Just the gray is not very nice. So I will go back, put it black. And instead, we can use the border to just create a white thin line at the bottom like that. It's way too big, but if we just do 1 pixel, for example, it will be very nice. Perfect. Okay, great. So now it's much better. Then the next thing is I want to add my 2 categories, watch for men and watch for women, into my menu. So I will just get the link first, open this 2 page into a new tab. Then I will go to the menu settings. So I just quit here, my store, menu. So now I can add the links to my 2 categories. So for doing that, I will use custom links. And first, I will add a sub menu like Michael Strauss is doing. I will just write our watches. Okay, so for doing that, you can just put it here, our watches. And as it is just a menu item, I don't want to put any links. I will just put an hashtag here. So which means we have the item in the menu, but we can't click on it. So it's really just to create a sub menu. And then I will create the 2 links that actually goes to the category pages. So for doing that, you just go to the page, get the URL, copy, go back, paste into URL, and then put the text of the link. So I will put for woman, and then just do the same for men. Go to the page, copy the URL, go back, paste into URL, and put the text. And then to create the submenu, like Michael Kors, we have handbags and then the other items. What you do is you just take your menu item and you just drag it below and on the right like that. Okay, we want for women, and then we do the same for men. And so now we will have our watches and 2 sub items for women and for men. If we put for men here, then it is a sub item of for women. Okay, this is not what we want. We want for men to be a sub item of our watches, so we put it here on the same line. Then we save, and then here we are. We have our 2 categories into our menu. Then we will put the my account link here, and we save, refresh the page. And here we are. We have our home link, we have our watches, and then people can access their account on our store as well. So that's it. I think we are good with our header now. It's simple, but it's pretty efficient. And then you can just do the same thing to add more links and to add all the things that you want to put into your own header. Okay, then now let's do our footer. So again, we go to the theme builder, and then we go to the global footer. So, okay, here we are. So here's the first thing that we can do now is just to delete the request quotes. We can put this on 2 columns. And we see that we have a little border here on the right, because there is, I think, into the second column, there is a border on the right. Okay. We just remove it with 0. And here we are. Then we can put our logo here. Again, it's too big, we can resize it. Okay. Then I will change that by watches. I will put the link to watches for men and watches for women here. To put a link on a text like that into your footer, you want to get the URL, copy, then you want to select your text and click on this little icon here for the link. Then you want to paste your URL, then you want to click OK, and here we go. Now we have a link on this text. So when people click, it will go to the page. Then we want to put watch for men. We do the same thing. We add the link on the text, copy, paste, OK. Then we want to delete those 2. We don't need 2 more. Here we can put information about us. That's great. Career, we don't need that. Contact us. And our blog as well. So for now, we don't have this page yet on this website. So I will just leave it like this and then come back later to add the links the same way we did for the watches. And then here, we don't really need that. So instead, I will just delete it and I will put the subscribe form instead. Okay, great. I'm not a big fan of the divider here, so I will just delete them. And I'm also not a big fan when it's centered in the middle like that, so I will just align them on the left. And here, little trick, you can actually copy the settings, right click on text alignment, then copy text alignment, then save. And then here you can just right click on your module and then paste text alignments and it will paste the settings. And you can do that everywhere. So this can save you a bit of time. So here we are, and then I think we're good. Then we want black background and white text. Can use the shortcuts. Also, we need to change the font for our text to Montserrat. Okay, and do the same for everyone. So here, be careful because this is not a text, this is a link. So you have different settings for text or for link, but as we added a link to this text, now it's a link, okay? So this is here to change it. So I want to put it in white actually, not in red. Then for the next text, be careful because you don't want to change these settings here because this is for a text. And this one is not a text anymore because we added a link to it. So now it's a link. The settings are here, link. So you want to put Montserrat and I will change to white as well. It will be nicer. Here we go. Okay. Then we can also copy text styles and just apply it everywhere. Then we can do the same here. Montserrat and white. Then for this one, we have to be careful because it will be linked later, but for now it's not linked. So I will just change to Montserrat, white, and then just make sure that we have still Montserrat here and then white as well. Okay. Okay, so this is fine. Then we want to do this one, the next one. So I think this is cool. We can put that black as well. Okay, then for the social media, we want to do the same design as our button here. So black background and red border, white text. So we go here, background, black, then design, icon, white, and then into border, we want to add a little thin border that will be red. Okay. Perfect. That's the same. Then go back, right click, copy, paste, and paste. And here we go. Then we want to do the same thing for this button here. We just want to change the border. So we go to button, border width, red. Okay, perfect. And then we want to put this text here in white as well. And change the font to Montserrat. Okay. We need to change the font here as well. I forgot. Okay, perfect. Now we have our footer. I think the margin here at the bottom is a bit too big, so I will just put the padding into my blue section to 0. Only at the bottom, yes. Okay, we're good. And I think that's fine. Let's save it. And let's see on our store. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I think this is super. I think two more things that we can do is just to make our footer less wide. We can, I think, make it smaller in terms of width. I think it will be nicer. So for doing that, just go to the settings of your row and then into design, sizing, and here I will put 80%. Okay, great. Then here we can see that the text here and this one is not aligned. It's because there is some padding as well into the form. So I will just remove it. Spacing and 0. Okay, I think we have some on the left and right as well. So I will just put 0 as well. Okay, perfect. So I think it's nice. Then the last thing that we can do is to add an image of a watch in the background behind this section. So it will be very nice. So let's do that. Go to the section settings, background, image, then use your image. Okay, then we want to add the gradient on top of it. So I will just use black and black for now. And you want to place gradient above background image. And then we want to change the opacity. And here we go. I think that's pretty nice this way. We can save. Now we can see on our store. And here we go. Now we have our watch in the background and we have our nice footer. And our nice header as well. So this is perfect. Our email opt-in module here actually doesn't gather email yet because we need to create an email account first from an external service provider. So this is something that we will cover later in this course in the part about newsletter and email opt-in. So just keep it like this for now and later I will show you how to do this. Then let's just verify that it's okay on every screen. So tablet, our image is to be. I will just reduce it. So design, sizing, then use the phone icon, tablet, and maybe like this. Okay, maybe we can change the alignment as well. So again, phone icon, tablet, and align on the left. Then let's check on mobile. Again, too big. Okay, much better. So okay, perfect. I will save and save the page. Okay, perfect. So now let's check our header. Okay, tablet and mobile. Okay, here's great. We don't need to change anything. So I will just go out and then just make sure that you use your global footer and global header on all of your templates in the theme builder. Here by default, we only have our global footer on all of our templates. So I need to add my global header on my other templates. And for doing that, just click on your global header and drag to the templates and then drop. Okay, just do the same thing, click, drag, and drop. Perfect. And then just save. And now you're good. Your global header and footer will be used on all your pages. So that's it on how to customize the header and footer on your store. Once again, I've done tons of modification just to show you a lot of things, but it's possible to just use the template as it is. It's faster and easier. So with a little bit of customization, as we just did, you can create any header or any footer as you want. So now let's go. Let's keep going.